Solving for a specified variable, also called literal equations. Example 4, we're solving for a specified variable. We're going to solve each formula or equation for the specified variable. In this case here, we want to solve for t because that's what it's asking us to do. So I'm going to rewrite this equation as I, which is equal to p times r times t. Okay, since we're solving for t, we see that it's being multiplied by p and r. So we're going to divide both sides by pr and divide that side by pr. And what happens is on the left side of the equation we get I over p times r. And over here we know that we're left with t. And so therefore we've solved this literal equation for t. Next, we want to solve, again, the formula or equation for the specified variable. In this case, we want to solve for p. So here is our formula. I'm going to write this out. So we have a minus p, which is equal to p r t. Okay. Now, in this particular equation, we can see that p is on both sides of the equation. We want to make sure that p is on the same side so that we can eventually solve for it. So the first thing we're going to want to do now is to be able to now add p to both sides. Okay, so by doing that, we eliminate it on the left side, and what's left is a, and that's going to equal p times r times t plus p. Okay, now again, our goal is to isolate p, but you can see that we have two terms on the right side of the equation that contain the letter p. So what we want to do is we want to factor out p. So we have p times rt plus 1. Because p times rt is going to give you prt, and p times 1 is going to give you p. So you can see what's happening there. Now again, we still want to solve for p, so we're going to divide both sides by rt plus 1, and the same thing over here, rt plus 1. So therefore, on the left side of the equation, we have a over r times t plus 1, and that's going to equal p. And so therefore, we have solved for p. Next here, we want to solve the formula or the equation for the specified variable. In this case, you want to solve for x. So you can see here that on both sides of the equation, we have an x here and an x here. So it's going to be quite similar to the previous example. But the first thing we need to do is distribute the 3 to both of those two terms. So 3 times 2x is going to give us 6x. 3 times minus 5a is going to give us minus 15a. Plus 4b, which is equal to 4x minus 2. So again, the goal is to then get all the x's on one side of the equation and everything else on the other side of the equation. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to subtract 4x to both sides to eventually get x on one side of the equation. So here, I'm going to eliminate that, and then we have 6x minus 4x, which is 2x, minus 15a plus 4b, which is equal to negative 2. Now keep in mind here that, again, we want to isolate the x. So that means we're going to have to add the opposite of minus 15a, and then subtract 4b to both sides. So we're going to add 15a, and then subtract 4b to both sides of the equation. So we're going to add 15a minus 4b. So that means that we're going to eliminate those two on the left side, and what we have left on the left side of the equation is 2x. Now over here, these aren't like terms. So I have positive 15a, I have minus 4b, and then that's going to be minus 2. Okay, Now we haven't finished solving yet because we have to isolate x, so that means we need to divide both sides by 2. So therefore x is going to equal 15a minus 4b minus 2 divided by 2, and therefore there is our result.